So basically, in this quick video, I'm just gonna share with you a if you're a person that likes to do, if you like to render spaceships and stuff like that in space, or like sci-fi stuff in space, and if you like to do Star Trek stuff with things like that, huge battleships with high polygons. If you have like a huge, let's just say you have a scene like this, which is a massively huge spaceship, right, fully rigged with lights and the works, okay, and it's an extremely high polygon, right, and it's gonna definitely take you a while to render on your system. I'm gonna share with you a quick way on how you can speed up the process. So here we have the Prometheus. This scene file was created by, it's done by Russell Torn. So his site is digiton.co.uk. You can get the scene file from there if you want it. So yeah, so if you have a high mesh like this, and you know it's going to take you a long time if you are rendering with Monte Carlo and stuff like that and radiosity, but I will show you a way to get um, a nice clean render like what you see here on the screen, um, in with all the lights, um, in maybe like I would say like less a minute to less than a minute depending on your hardware setup and how fast CPU you are using for Lightwave. So basically what you're gonna do is instead of waiting 15 minutes or 20 minutes or maybe half an hour to an hour for something like this, you could maybe do it in less than 5 minutes, less than a minute, or even in 30 seconds if you have a fast system. So what we're going to do is switch off radiosity. We're going to have our sample set up like this or something similar to this, and then we're going to go to background options. Uh, I'm gonna put a texture environment, right, and you're gonna find something that is going to like your ship. So as you see, I turned off the JPEGs, and you can see that the ship is looking a bit dull, doesn't have the reflective areas, and it's not giving any type of ray tracing reflection coming off it. So if I turn the JPEG layers back on, you'll see that starts to pick up the highlights, the reflective highlights on the ship, which is what's bringing it to life. And you'll see that I'm just using this simple JPEG. You could use a JPEG like this, or you could use an HDRI or an EXR or whatever image works for your scene, for your ship, right? So basically now we're just gonna do a test render and see how long this takes. Camera view, and we're running at full HD, 5 passes on AA, and let's just see what happens. As you can see on the nose of the ship, getting a nice reflective pass over there. So this will work well for flybys and camera panning along the spaceship. And as you can see, we are almost done at 32.5 seconds, 34 seconds, and we are nearly done at 43.5 seconds. The render is done. My system is actually not running in high performance mode, it's just running in balance mode. So if I do put it on high performance mode, on turbo mode, it would renders in maybe under 30 seconds. But I'm just showing you a quick way that you can render out a high poly asset if you are doing a space scene um, that requires you to optimize your render pass. And also, if you want to get more intricate, or you can add maybe an occlusion shader to add more realism. But for me, I think this is perfect. I'm getting nice reflective um, zones coming off, layers coming off the ship. That's bringing it to life. And we have all the volumetric lights, um, the nice point lights, and we have everything coming off quite nicely. And we've also got the specular areas of the ship getting picked up, so that is quite nice. And don't forget, once you add the rest of your scene, the starfield, the background, the volumetrics, the fog, and so on, it'll become way more convincing. So this is just a quick way for how you can speed up your render times when you are doing a space scene or a high poly count spaceship that's going to be taxing on your system. So it just helps to speed up the render times and help you to get the renders out whilst keeping the same quality. And if I go to vertices, you can see that all the lights on the ship are on. And if I go here, I've set the scene light to the SK sunlight at 73% intensity. Ray trace shadows affect diffuse, and you can play with the times and the settings to get your lighting the right way that you want it. However, let's change the time and see what that does to the ship. And as you can see now here, we have a much more softer light. And if you go all the way down to 5, we have something like this. Let's go to maybe 6, come back to maybe 8, and let's bring the intensity down. Let's bring the intensity way more down. Let's turn it off. So as you can see, still getting quite a nice finish and a much faster render time. Okay, and let's see what we can get on 4K. and 4K is done in 2 minutes. 2 minutes and 11 seconds for 4K. So if you are using a render farm, or you have access to a CPU node stack with maybe 32 or 64 cores or 128 cores, you can just imagine how fast the scene would be rendering, probably like 1 second per frame, basically. So that's how powerful this little tweak you can use to render your scenes out way faster than using bounces and radiosity and all that stuff if you don't need to. Because once you add volumetrics, once you add fog, once you add other ships in the scene, more other ships, battleships in the scene, once you start adding effects and lasers and all that stuff, no one's going to even be able to tell the difference. So it's all about scene efficiency and getting the render out in the fastest time possible while still maintaining a certain level of quality.